Welcome to the channel we will discuss the topic, social justice in Islam, what every society can learn. In an era where social justice has become a universal demand, it is intriguing to explore how deeply Islam emphasizes justice as a core tenet. Islam's teachings extend well beyond spirituality, guiding every aspect of human life, including social ethics, governance, economics, and the rights and responsibilities of individuals and communities. Through the Quran, the Hadith, teachings of Prophet Muhammad (PBUH), and the implementation of these principles by early Muslim leaders, Islam offers a structured approach to achieving a just society. This script explores the foundational aspects of social justice in Islam and how societies can apply these teachings to foster fairness, equality, and peace. Understanding justice in Islam. The Arabic word for justice, adl, is a foundational term in Islam, representing balance, equality, and fairness. Islam insists on justice as a divine command that must be upheld regardless of circumstances. In the Quran, Allah commands, indeed, Allah commands justice, kindness, and giving to relatives, Quran 16-90. This verse emphasizes that justice is not just a personal virtue but a collective responsibility, mandated by divine authority. Justice in Islam is not only about punitive measures or distribution of wealth. It includes treating people fairly in every matter, whether in business, family, or community affairs. It encompasses social and economic equality, ensuring that individuals are neither discriminated against nor oppressed based on factors like race, color, or social status. Islam promotes justice that protects the welfare of the weak and prevents exploitation by the powerful. Social justice through equality. One of the key pillars of social justice in Islam is equality. Islam asserts that all human beings are created equal, regardless of race, nationality, or social status. The Quran clearly states, "O mankind, indeed we have created you from male and female and made you peoples and tribes that you may know one another. Indeed, the most noble of you in the sight of Allah is the most righteous of you." Quran 49-13. Here, the concept of taqwa, or righteousness, serves as the only measure by which individuals are ranked, underlining that societal hierarchies based on wealth or status are inconsequential. This notion of equality challenges discriminatory practices and social hierarchies. Islam teaches that every individual is entitled to respect, dignity, and opportunities, promoting a society where privilege is based on merit rather than birth. By establishing the framework of equality, Islam prevents social divisions that often lead to injustice. Economic justice in Islam. Economic justice is a fundamental element of social justice in Islam. The economic system in Islam is designed to eliminate poverty, reduce inequality, and provide a decent standard of living for all. This is primarily achieved through wealth distribution mechanisms such as zakat, obligatory almsgiving, and sadaqah, voluntary charity. Zakat is one of the 5 pillars of Islam, making it an obligatory act for Muslims to give a specific portion of their wealth to the needy. By redistributing wealth, zakat reduces poverty and prevents the hoarding of resources by the rich. The Quran commands and establish prayer and give zakat, and bow with those who bow, in worship and obedience. Quran 2:43. This obligation instills a sense of social responsibility, as zakat is not merely a charitable act but a means of social reform. Beyond zakat, Islam forbids exploitative practices such as usury, riba, and monopolies, which create economic disparities and trap the vulnerable in cycles of poverty. The Quran explicitly prohibits riba, stating, "Allah has permitted trade and has forbidden interest." Quran 2-275. By banning usury, Islam promotes fair financial transactions that prevent wealth concentration among a few and support ethical wealth accumulation that benefits society as a whole. Justice through compassion and empathy. Justice in Islam is deeply rooted in compassion and empathy. The Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, embodied these qualities, often emphasizing the need for kindness and empathy in addressing social issues. One of his famous sayings is, "None of you, truly, believes until he loves for his brother what he loves for himself." Sahih al-Bukhari, 13. This saying promotes a sense of solidarity among Muslims, where the well-being of others becomes a priority, creating a society where empathy drives justice. Islamic teachings also emphasize the importance of helping those in need, such as orphans, widows, and the underprivileged. The Quran advocates for supporting these groups, stating, "They ask you, O Muhammad, what they should spend. Say, whatever you spend of good is to be for parents and relatives and orphans and the needy and the traveler." Quran 2-215. By urging Muslims to take care of the disadvantaged, Islam fosters a culture of social justice rooted in compassion, accountability and fairness in governance. Islam promotes a system of governance based on accountability, transparency, and fairness. Leaders are expected to serve the people and uphold justice, ensuring that no one is oppressed or marginalized. The Quran instructs leaders, "Indeed, Allah commands you to render trusts to whom they are due, and when you judge between people to judge with justice." Quran 4:58. This verse underscores the importance of integrity and fairness in leadership. The Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, and the rightly guided caliphs exemplified this form of governance, where the welfare of the people was prioritized, and justice was upheld even against family or friends. The second caliph, Umar ibn al-Khattab, is well known for his commitment to justice, often taking personal responsibility to ensure that the citizens were not wronged, regardless of their status. This emphasis on fairness and accountability in leadership sets a standard for modern governance, where justice should be accessible to all. Women's rights and justice. One of the most transformative aspects of social justice in Islam is the emphasis on women's rights. Before Islam, women in many societies were marginalized, with limited rights and opportunities. Islam brought about a revolutionary change by granting women rights to inheritance, education, and participation in social and economic activities. The Quran declares, "For men is a share of what they have earned, and for women is a share of what they have earned." Quran 4:32. This verse underscores the equal right of women to economic independence. Islam's teachings on women's rights also extend to marriage, where mutual consent is mandatory, and women are entitled to dowry, as a form of respect and security. The Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, emphasized the fair treatment of women, often advising, "The best of you are those who are best to their wives." Sunan al-Tirmidhi, 1162. By upholding women's rights, Islam aims to establish a balanced society where everyone has equal opportunities and protection. Justice in judicial matters. Islamic justice encompasses a fair and impartial judicial system, where rights are preserved and transgressors are held accountable. Islam mandates that judges should rule justly, free from prejudice or personal interest. The Quran states, "And do not let the hatred of a people prevent you from being just. Be just, that is nearer to righteousness." Quran 5-8. This verse emphasizes that justice must be upheld even when dealing with adversaries. The Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, reinforced this by setting a precedent of fair trials, transparency, and accountability in judicial matters. He once said, "If my daughter Fatima stole, I would cut off her hand." Sahih al-Bukhari, 3475. This statement reflects the impartiality expected in the Islamic legal system, where justice is applied equally to all, regardless of their relation to the ruler or judge. The social justice model presented in Islam offers a comprehensive approach to achieving equality, fairness, and compassion within society. Islam's emphasis on justice is not limited to punitive measures but extends to economic policies, governance, social equality, and individual responsibilities. Through zakat, Islam alleviates poverty and reduces economic disparity. By promoting equality, it dismantles social hierarchies and advocates for equal opportunities for all. Islam's insistence on accountability in leadership and fairness in judicial matters sets a benchmark for ethical governance, where justice is accessible to everyone. In essence, Islam teaches that justice is not a mere concept but a way of life that permeates all aspects of society. By adopting these principles, modern societies can benefit from a balanced and just system that prioritizes human dignity, protects the vulnerable, and promotes harmonious coexistence. Islam's vision of social justice, rooted in divine guidance and exemplified by the Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, remains a powerful framework that can inspire a more equitable world. Through compassion, fairness, and accountability, Islam's approach to social justice offers timeless lessons that transcend cultural and religious boundaries, providing a path toward a more just and peaceful society for all. Thanks for watching the channel.